Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Arjun Sakha Prabhu. So, Hare Krishna, Arjun Prabhu. Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
It is our great pleasure to welcome you on a Parsarthi Foundation, Prabhuji. You have came after a long time, looks like. So, I will request all the devotees, let us welcome Prabhuji with Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay. Now I will request Rohini Nandan Prabhuji for brief introduction of Arjun Sakha Prabhuji, and then Prabhuji can begin his session. Thank you. Hare Krishna. To you, Rohini Nandan Prabhuji.
Thank you, Hari Lila Prabhu, for this opportunity. So, welcome, dear devotees, to Parsarthi Foundation. So today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Arjun Sakha Prabhu back with us. So, although Prabhuji is very well known in our ISKCON community and needs no introduction, but I will still say a few words about him for my own purification. So Prabhuji is a Diksha disciple of His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj, who is a senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada and very well known throughout the world for his Nectarian Srimad Bhagavatam classes. Academically, Prabhuji holds a master's degree in information systems from New Jersey, and spiritually holds a Bhakti Shastri degree from ISKCON Chowpatty in Bombay. Prabhuji has been actively preaching at many ISKCON centers around the world and has specially been cultivating the youth at ISKCON Seattle. All of Prabhuji's past lectures can be viewed on his YouTube channel, which is Arjun Sakha Das official channel. So if you have not subscribed, please, I urge you to please subscribe, as it is, really very nice nectarian content. So today Prabhuji will be presenting on a topic entitled Open Mouth Meditation. So I am looking forward to it. So I'm sure everyone is. So let's all welcome Prabhuji by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra one more time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Over to you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, and thank you so much, Hari Leela Prabhu, for that very kind introduction. And so happy to be back at the service of all the devotees of Parthasarthi Foundation. There are definitely some familiar faces I can see. Of course, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, yes, Hari Leela Prabhu, and Pradyumna Prabhu. I could say Chirayu Prabhu was there. So many familiar faces and some familiar names. Thank you so much for engaging me in the service of speaking some Hari Katha. Before we begin, I would want to request devotees to kindly pray for me and shower your best wishes and blessings so that I can speak some favorable words in the glorification of today's topic. Please accept my very humble obeisances. Vancha kalpatarobhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Let us chant the Mangalacharan prayers and then get started in our today's discussion. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णा पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः आनंदलीलामय विग्रहाय हेमावदिव्य छवि सुंदराय तस्मै महाप्रेम रसप्रदाय चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय हरे कृष्णा thank you so much dear devotees for very kindly assembling here to hear and chant about the glories of the Supreme Lord Shri Brajendranandan Shri Krishna. Of course, as when Mataji reached out as to what the topic has to be, I gave this topic of the open mouth meditation. It's definitely an intriguing topic as to what type of meditation is this, because we know meditation where the eyes are closed, we know meditation of putting our hand inside the bead bag, but this is some new type of meditation, open mouth meditation. So what is this type of meditation? We will see. It will unfold as the class continues. As I always say, if I make any mistakes during the presentation, which I'm very much sure I will, because I'm a conditioned living entity, kindly as Saragrahi Vaishnavas be kind upon me and forgive me of all the mistakes and keep it here itself to the side. And if there is any inspirational point that inspires us in our sadhana or touches our heart, the whole and soul credit goes to our Guru Varga, Srila Prabhupada, and of course our Srila Guru Maharaj, Param Pujya Shri Srila Radha Govinda Maharaj, and also all the wonderful disciples of Srila Prabhupada. So kindly pray for me so that I can speak something in the glorification of the Supreme Lord. We see that the Srimad Bhagavatam in the second canto, Shukadev Goswami gives 6 limbs of bhakti. This is one verse that even Srila Guru Maharaj loves very much. For those devotees who have heard Srila Guru Maharaj, those who are not, of course, the disciples would have definitely heard, but I'm speaking for those who have not disciples. We can see one common thread, and that is Srila Guru Maharaj. Most of the times it is Mangalacharan. He starts the class with this verse. Yat kirtanam yad smaranam yad ikshanam yad vandanam yad shravanam yad arhanam lokasya sadhyo vidhunoti kalmasham tasmai subhadra shravase namo namaha. This is one of Srila Guru Maharaj's favorite Mangalacharan verses. So I thought we will start our discussion also with this verse. This comes from the second canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 4, text 15, 2-4-15. Very good verse to by heart. What does this verse say? Yad kirtanam. Yat means whose, by whose kirtanam. Kirtana means glorification. Comes from the root word kirti, means glorification. So yat kirtanam, by glorifying whom, yat kirtanam, yat smaranam, by remembering whom, yad ikshanam, by looking at whom. So 3 limbs of bhakti are done. Yad kirtanam, yad smaranam, yad ikshanam, yad vandanam, by offering prayers unto whom, yad shravanam, by hearing about whom, which we are about to do, yad kirtanam, yad smaranam, yad ikshanam, yad vandanam, yad shravanam, yad arhanam, by worshipping whom. So 6 qualities: Kirtanam, Smaranam, Ikshanam, Vandanam, Shravanam, and Arhanam. What happens if someone does any of these or all 6 put together? Lokasya sadhyo vidhunoti kalmasham. The kalmasham, which means the sins that we all have that we have got together for lifetimes together. At least speaking for myself, all of you all are very sadhu like, but at least speaking for myself, the mountain like sins that I have accumulated for lifetimes together, that is kalmasham. What happens to them? Vidhunoti. Dhunoti means to clean, like in Hindi we say dhona, means to clean. But Shukadev Goswami doesn't say dhunoti. He doesn't say by hearing about Krishna or by looking at Krishna or by remembering Krishna, by performing any of these 6 limbs. Shukadev Goswami doesn't say it cleanses our consciousness. He says it vidhunoti. Dhunoti means cleaning, but vidhunoti means that type of cleaning which is like scrubbing. You see, many times when we cook something and we are washing pots, so most of the stain that is there in the cooking vessel will be cleansed by little soap, but there will be some stains which you have to rub. We have to literally rub, and only then that will go. So similarly, our consciousness is like that. Little cleansing will not go. So that is why Shukadev Goswami doesn't say dhunoti, he says vidhunoti. Dhunoti means cleaning. Vidhunoti means cleaning with a scrubber, cleaning vigorously, because our consciousness is so condensed right now. So by hearing about Krishna, what happens? Krishna as Harikatha enters our heart and does the cleaning work, does the scrubbing work. Lokasya sadhyo vidhunoti kalmasham. And how can Krishna do it? Tasmai Subhadra Shravase Namo Namaha. Because Krishna is Subhadra. Subhadra means pure. For Jagannath, it is Subhadra. When it ends with A, it is feminine. We say all the feminine names will mostly end with A. The male names in Sanskrit will never end with A. It's always the feminine names that will always end with an A, predominantly. That's one of the rules of Sanskrit. So Subhadra is masculine, and Krishna is called Subhadra because Krishna is all pure. So Krishna, who is all pure, through the means of Harikatha, through the means of verses, enters the door-like ears of our heart. And he goes inside, and what does he do? Vidhunoti. He starts scrubbing vigorously. That is why we've seen the Shikshashtakam prayers also. The Shikshashtakam prayers also starts with the same point, that how the Supreme Lord, through the chanting of the holy names, goes inside and cleans the mirror of our heart, cleans the mirror or the consciousness. So vidhunoti. So that's the purpose of hearing. If someone is hearing with full attention, there are terms and conditions apply. When we open a bank account or when we go for any of those things, there is a small asterisk, and very small font they will write terms and conditions apply. So similarly, Shukadev Goswami is giving this verse, but is also saying terms and conditions apply. The vidhunoti, the cleansing, will happen if and only if the audience is attentive. If the audience is not attentive, then even if Harikatha goes inside, there will be not much effect. It will go from one ear and come out from another ear. But if you are sincere and attentive, then there is some cleansing of the heart. So with this verse from the second canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, taking inspiration from Shukadev Goswami and taking inspiration from Srila Guru Maharaj, who often quotes this verse, let us start our today's discussion. Shri Krishna, when he is there in the land of Vrindavan, Krishna, one day, he called out to all his friends. Krishna has various friends. Krishna has no studying. Krishna doesn't do studying. There is no assignments. There are no homeworks that Krishna does. All the day, Krishna just plays and plays. So Krishna, one day, he called out to all his friends. Sridham, Madhumangal, Stok Krishna, Kinkini, Vasudam, Dam, Balaram. He called out to all his friends. The list goes on. And why did Krishna call? Because it was time for Gocharan. It was time for herding the cows and calves, of course. So Krishna had come out of Nanda Mahal with all the cows and calves. And now he was calling all his friends so that they can also come with all their cows and calf. And the whole gang, Krishna's friends, they can all go deep inside the forest. And while the cows and calves are grazing, Krishna and his friends can play. So all the friends came out. And that was a big lot. So many friends with so many cows and so many calves. And now all these friends, they entered inside the forest of Vrindavan. And as the friends went inside, the cows and calves looking at the green grass got so excited that they left the hands of Krishna and Balaram and they left the hands of all their friends and they started eating all the fresh grass that was there. And here on the other end, the friends of Krishna, some friends of Krishna were mimicking the monkeys. Some friends were jumping from one branch of the tree to another branch. Small friends, right? They're jumping from one branch to another branch like a monkey. Some friends are sitting silently like the ducks. Just like the ducks are moving very silently. Some friends are like that, very silent like the ducks. Some friends are looking at their own reflection. They look at their reflection in Yamuna. They look at their own reflection and they're amazed. They start laughing. Some friends, because this is also close to Giriraj, some friends, they hear their own echo. These are small friends. They have not experienced all this before. So they're hearing their own echo and they're calling out to other friends. Look, I can hear my own voice. And they're all stunned. Some friends of Krishna, they are mimicking the cuckoos. They're singing sweetly like the cuckoos. While Krishna is dancing like the peacock. All the friends are doing one activity. Our Krishna is also showing his attributes. Krishna is also wanting to show that if my friends can do all these things, I can also do. Krishna is a full-on performer. Krishna is such a performer. He wants like full audience and he will not miss out an opportunity to perform. So all his friends are performing different mimicking of different birds and animals. And here is Krishna. He is mimicking the peacocks. And Krishna is dancing. The peacocks are dancing. Krishna is dancing. The peacocks are dancing. After one point, the peacocks stop. And they look at Krishna and say, Krishna, we cannot compete with you. You are such a good dancer. Har maan gaye hum. We cannot compete with you. And Krishna says, no, you continue. And peacock said, no, Krishna, you are so good. Some of the dance moves that you do, even we have not seen. In Vrindavan, you see, peacocks are known for their dancing. Especially when it rains, we can see the peacocks spread out their feathers and very beautifully they dance. But when Krishna dances, these peacocks also feel embarrassed. And they stop and they look at Krishna and say, Krishna, we don't know to do such dance posture. We don't know to do such moves. They start plucking out their feathers. Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Patram pushpam phalam toyam. So they tell Krishna, my dear Krishna, we don't have pushpam. We don't have phalam. We don't have toyam. But we have lot of patram. We have a lot of feathers. They start plucking one after another. And they give it to Krishna. That, my dear Lord, let this be the ticket that we have to pay to watch your dancing. You see, in this world, if you go to a dance Erangetram, it's never free. You have to give something. Similarly, the peacocks don't have dollars. So the peacocks, as ticket to watch Krishna's dancing, they start plucking feathers from their body and they give it to Krishna. So much love for Sri Krishna. So different activities are going on in the forest. And at that time, Shukadev Goswami, he starts glorifying the friends of Krishna as to how fortunate the friends of Krishna are. Ittam satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatana baradevatena maya shritanam naradarakesho sakham vijaro krita punya punja. In Canto 10, chapter 12, Shukadev Goswami describes the friends of Sri Krishna. Ittam satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena maya shritanam naradarakena sakham vijaru krita punya punja. Who are these friends of Krishna? Krita punya punja. These friends of Krishna have performed pious activities for many, many lifetimes together, because of which now they're standing on the same plane as that of Krishna and are performing these pastimes. These friends of Krishna have amassed so much piety in their transcendental bank account. We have our Chase and Bank of America and Wells Fargo, but that collects only material wealth. But the friends of Krishna, they also have a bank, but in that bank they collect spiritual wealth. That wealth that can be taken forward to the future lifetimes. Krita punya punja dasyam gatanam paradaiva tena maya shritanam naradarakena sakham vijaru krita punya punja. These friends of Krishna have amassed so much piety that now they have not just got entrance to Vrindavan, they have not just got entrance to Krishna's pastimes, but now they are standing on the same land of that of Krishna, performing the same Sakhya pastimes with so much love and purity. So Shukadev Goswami makes sure to glorify these friends, to help us understand that these friends are not mere mortals. They are very exalted living beings who, after performing so much pious activities, are now playing and dancing and frolicking with the Supreme Lord, Vrindavan Krishna. So as these friends and all were playing, at that time, the news of Bakasur being killed had spread far and wide. As we know, Bakasur is a crane, and Krishna very easily had killed Bakasur. So this news of Bakasur being killed had completely spread. And when this news of Bakasur being killed had spread, Bakasur's brother came to Vrindavan. Who is Bakasur's brother? Aghasur. Putana, Bakasur, and Aghasur. One sister, two brothers. Tigdi. That is why in Hindi we say, Teen Tigda, काम बिगड़ा. When these three come together, जब ये तीन साथ में आ जाते हैं ना, सब काम बिगड़ जाता है. So everything has its origin in Shastra. Even proverbs, even sayings have their origin in Shastra. Putana, Bakasur, Aghasur. One sister, two brothers. Teen tigda, काम बिगड़ा. So Putana was killed by Krishna. Bakasur was killed by Krishna. Now the only brother left was Aghasur. Aghasur came to Vrindavan to take revenge from Krishna. That how can Krishna kill my brother? Bakasur was so innocent and so pious and so pure, according to Aghasur. Not according to me, according to Aghasur. Aghasur considered his brother to be very pious and very pure. And he considered Krishna to be evil. So he was thinking, my brother was so nice and so pious and so pure. And Krishna, he has the audacity to kill him. I will go to Vrindavan and take revenge. So with this desire, Aghasur came to Braj. And now when Aghasur came to Vrindavan, it's very interesting that when these demons come to Vrindavan, Krishna not just kills them, but Krishna also liberates them. Krishna can do more good to a living entity by killing them than we can do to a person by keeping them alive. I repeat, Krishna can do more good to a person by killing than we can do to a person while that person is still alive. And this is where Rupa Goswami says one of the names of Krishna is Hatha Ari Gati Dayaka. I repeat, one of Krishna's names, Rupa Goswami says, is Hatha Ari Gati Dayaka. Hatha means to kill. Ari means demon. Sometimes when we are chanting, we say, instead of saying Hare Krishna, we say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. We skip that H. Now it's very interesting, dear devotees. Ari in Sanskrit means a demon. Ra means to call out to a demon. Like Radha, when we call out, Radhe. Similarly, Ari means a demon. If I have to call out to demon, Are. So if we say Are Krishna, it means, oh demon Krishna, O demon Krishna, Are Krishna, Are Rama, O demon Ram. So pronunciation is very important. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is kind that he doesn't, no, he forgives our offenses. But if we go little into Sanskrit, if we just remove the H, and if you're really chanting fast, it becomes Are. And Are means to call out to a demon. Just like Radha becomes Radhe, Ari becomes Are. So as a side point, we can make sure that we don't skip that H, because if we skip that H, even Krishna will be scratching his head. Are kisko bula raha hai? Are you calling me or are you calling me a demon? So pronunciation is also a little equally important. So we find that Krishna's name, Rupa Goswami says, is Hata Ari Gati Dayaka. Hata means to kill. Ari means the demon. And Gati Dayaka is to give the highest destination. So Krishna, even by killing, gives the highest destination, that is the spiritual world. So that is why we understand that Krishna, even by killing someone, does good to that person. Just like in this world, we find a surgeon has a knife in his hand. At the same time, a serial killer also has a knife in his hand. But what's the difference? The serial killer uses that knife to take a life away, while at the same time, a surgeon uses that knife to save a life. Externally, both are using a knife, but the purpose is completely different. Similarly, externally, it seems Krishna is killing, but just like the doctor who uses the knife to save a life, similarly, Krishna is killing them, killing the demons, and saving their life by giving them the highest destination. Krishna kills Putana and gives Putana the destination of being Krishna's mother. Similarly, all these demons, Krishna kills them and gives them a very high class post. So this is why Krishna's one name is Hata Ari Gati Dayaka. At the same time, we find Krishna is also called as Hari. What does Hari mean? There are two meanings of Hari. Sarva Amangala Hare Prem Diye Hare Man. The first meaning of Hari, our acharyas describe is Sarva Amangala Hare. Krishna takes away everything that is inauspicious. Everything that is there inauspicious in our life, Krishna takes that away. Sarva Amangala Hare. And second, Prem Diye Hare Man. He gives prema in our heart and even steals our heart away. तो भगवान बहुत बड़े चोर है. सिर्फ वृंदावन में चोरी नहीं करते, सिर्फ माखन मिश्री चोरी नहीं करते. जो भक्त एकदम हृदय पूर्वक भगवान को बुलाते हैं, भगवान हृदय भी चुरा लेते हैं. He steals that heart also away. That is why we find our Bilva Mangala Thakur, he says, Braje prasidham navanita choram gopangananam chadukula choram aneka janmarjita papa choram chauragraganyam purusham namami. I offer my obeisances to the greatest of the thieves. Bilva Mangala Thakur says, Itana bada chor hum kabhi nahi dekhe. We have never seen such a big thief. So Krishna is called as Hari. Even when he steals the inauspicious, which means Krishna can never think of anything bad for us. We have to always remember this. Sometimes externally things go out of what we have planned. But Krishna is someone who is Surid. He is always our well-wishing friend. Krishna can never think bad for anyone. Even if someone is a demon, still Krishna doesn't think bad for them. What to speak of devotees? If the demons can get the highest destination of the spiritual world, what supreme destination awaits for all of us if we every day sincerely chant and hear from the Shastra? If the demons without doing anything are getting that, what has Krishna kept for us in the spiritual world? Only when we go there will we know what Krishna has left for us. So Aghasur, when he came to Braj, he came with this desire of taking revenge from Krishna. What does this name mean? Agha basically means sin. To sin, we say we have committed a sin. So the word sin in Sanskrit is also called as Agha. Apart from aparad, another name for sin is also called as Agha. So his name was Aghasur, which means he was the embodiment of sin. Sin personified was Aghasur. It's so hilarious that Aghasur's parents had named him Sin. It's like बच्चे का जब नामकरण होता है, the first name when is given, parents generally give Govind, Ram, Krishna, etc. But for Aghasur, his name was Sin. From tomorrow, your name is Sinful Das. It sounds so hilarious, but that was Aghasur. His name was Aghasur. Agha means sin, sin personified. So names are very important. You see, that's why in traditional Indian culture, the names are always the names of the Supreme Lord. Ram, Krishna, Govind, Murari, Madhusudan. Even if someone is not initiated in the olden days, these were the names. But nowadays you find Tittu, Sonu, Monu, Pappu, Rajendra. भगवान का कोई कनेक्शन ही नहीं है. There is no name in connection to the Supreme Lord. Ajamil was at least fortunate that he called out to Narayan. Just imagine if the son's name is Sonu, and at the time of departure, the father is calling Sonu, Sonu, Sonu. What destination? Where will he go? So it's important that names should be in connection with the Supreme Lord. But here we find Aghasur. Agha means sin, sin personified. But we know his name is Aghasur. The Vrajavasis did not know, because when the demon came to Braj, Vrajavasis don't know. We know because we have heard from Shukadev Goswami, we have heard from our Gurujan, we have heard from Prabhupada. But Vrajavasis, they did not know that his name is Aghasur. So how did the Vrajavasis address Aghasur? And this Shukadev Goswami answers in the Gopi Gita. Visha jalapyayad Vyalarакшасад Varashamaruthad Vaidyutanalad Vrishamayatmaja Vishvato Bhayad Rishabate Vayam Rakshita Moho. The gopis said, my dear Lord, you protected us from Mahavyal. They would address Aghasur as Mahavyal. What does Mahavyal means? Vyala means a man-eating demon, and Maha means gigantic. So Mahavyal means a gigantic man-eating demon. They say, my dear Lord, Rakshita Muhu, you protected us from Mahavyal. Visha Jalapayad Vyala Rakshasa. That Rakshasa who was a Vyala, who was a man-eating demon. My dear Lord, you protected us from them. So Brajavasis would address Aghasur not as Aghasur but as Mahavyal. This we find in the Gopi Gita in the 3rd verse. So Aghasur, who had come to Braj, had come with this desire, as we all know, of killing Krishna. He was not fond of Krishna. He was just not fond of Krishna. And interestingly, he looked at Krishna, but still his heart didn't melt. Krishna is so beautiful. We have seen that famous photo where Krishna is standing with a calf near the tree, and all the friends are running inside the mouth of Aghasur. Krishna looks so beautiful in that. But Aghasur, even after seeing that, his heart did not melt. We find that one of the names of Jagannath is called as Animesha. Nimesha means eyelids. Animesha, that Lord who has no eyelids. We see Jagannath has no eyelids. He has big, big eyes, but no eyelids. And our Lord Jagannath is so sweet and so merciful, at the same time very beautiful. He is so beautiful that he does not have eyelids, which means he does not even sleep. Because if you have eyelids can you close your eyes and sleep. But if there are no eyelids, we can see if there are no eyelids, the eyes will always be open, which means there is no sleep, which means Jagannath does not sleep. Throughout the day, Jagannath is so kind that he gives darshan to everyone. The Lord is so beautiful that throughout the day, visitors come and take darshan of the Supreme Lord. And even at night, when the temple closes, the demigods come and take darshan of Jagannath. Our Prabhu Jagannath is so beautiful that even the demigods cannot resist his beauty, that they leave the upper planetary systems and come down and take shelter and take darshan of Prabhu Jagannath. He's very beautiful. Our Prabhu Jagannath's eyes are like magnifying glass. When he has to see the good qualities, his eyes becomes like a magnifying glass. He only sees the good qualities. And when it comes to bad qualities, he will become Balaji. He will close his eyes. He does not see bad qualities in anyone. भगवान से अच्छे गुण दिखते सब में. He doesn't see bad qualities in anyone. So for seeing good qualities, eyes becomes like a magnifying glass. And bad qualities, Balaji, he will close his eyes. So the Lord is so beautiful that even the demigods are coming down to take his darshan. And that Supreme Lord, in his most beautiful form, as Brajendranandan Shri Krishna, Yashodanandan Shri Krishna, Nandanandan Shri Krishna, Radhika Raman Shri Krishna, Rasika Shekhar Shri Krishna, Rasaraj Shri Krishna, he was standing underneath the tree holding a calf. But Agasur's heart did not melt. He saw the beauty of Krishna, but his heart did not melt. Srila Rupa Goswami, he describes, Sunasikagramaktikam swachandradantapanktikam navambudanga chikanam namami nandanandanam. Sunasikagramaktikam. Krishna wears a nose ring here. Generally, you find nose rings are here, especially Matajis wear. But Krishna, he has a nose ring here. Sunasika. This is called a Sunasika. Sunasikagramaktikam swachandadantapanktikam. And how are Krishna's teeth? Oh, they're small. They're baby milk teeth. Very white and they're very chotu, very small. You see milk teeth before the permanent teeth comes for small children. It is so small and so tiny. So Krishna's teeth is like that. In fact, some acharyas also comment that when Krishna ate the dirt, Mother Yashoda asked Krishna to open the mouth, and Krishna opened the mouth. And when Krishna opened his mouth, Mother Yashoda, rather than seeing the dirt, she started counting the milk teeth of Shri Krishna, because Krishna was always playing outside. So when Krishna opened his mouth, Mother Yashoda was counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Krishna, you were so small yesterday, now you have so many milk teeth. She completely forgot the reason for which she had asked Krishna to open his mouth. Maiya sab bhul gayi. Aur jab Bhagavan mukh khole, when the Lord opened his mouth, she started counting the teeth, small baby teeth. So Srila Rupa Goswami describes, Sunasikagramaktikam swachandadantapanktikam navambudanga chikanam namami nandanandanam. And how's the form? How's the complexion? Navambudanga chikanam. Oh, it's like the freshly formed monsoon cloud. We see freshly formed monsoon cloud, it is bluish black in color. Especially if you come here to Seattle, you can see it every day. Seattle has such a weather, it rains practically every single day. It's almost like the UK weather. Every single day is gloomy and every single day it drizzles. So the Seattle Vasis are very accustomed to seeing monsoon clouds every single day. So the freshly formed clouds are bluish black in color. That is Krishna's color. Karena venu ganjitam gati karindra ganjitam dukula pita shobhanam namami nandanandanam. And Krishna, in his baby pinkish palms, he holds a flute. He holds Venu. As we know, Krishna has 3 kinds of flute: Venu, Vamshi, and Murali. Venu is not more than 6 inches long. Then we have Vamshi, which is about 15 inches long. And the biggest of them is Murali, which is 18 inches long. These are the flutes that Krishna plays. And in fact, these flutes are not even found in this world. The maximum that we see in this world is about 6 inches. But Krishna plays 15 inches, 18 inches, and even bigger sometimes. So Krishna in his baby pinkish hands is holding on to the flute. And he's wearing a pitambar vesh. He's wearing a yellow garment. Neelambara dhara radha pitambara dharo hari jivane nidhane nityam Radha Krishna gatir mama Radha Krishna gatir mama. Srila Jiva Goswami describes Neelambara Dharo Radha, our Srimati Radharani, our Swamini, she wears blue garment, while Sri Krishna Pitambaro Dharo Hari, Sri Krishna Hari wears yellow garment. So Srila Rupa Goswami is describing the beautiful form of Sri Krishna. He wears a sunasika, he holds a flute in his hand, he's like the freshly formed monsoon cloud, he has baby teeth, he is wearing a pitambar vesh. But still, Agarsu's heart did not melt. Just by hearing, it gives so much happiness to the heart. Just by hearing, we find there is a smile on the face. But for Aghasur, looking at the form, still his heart was not melting. Our Acharya is very beautifully described. They say, very sarcastically, in fact, they say, if you have any material desires, then don't go to Mathura. Even if you go to Mathura, don't go to Vrindavan. Even if you go to Vrindavan, don't go to Keshi Ghat. And even if you go to Keshi Ghat, don't see that bluish black complexion Sri Krishna playing the flute. It's sarcasm. It only means, oh rascal, go and see that form of Sri Krishna. Srila Rupa Goswami very beautifully describes. Srila Rupa Goswami says, Bandhu sange yadhi tava ranga parihas thake abhilas Mathuraya keshi tirtha ranga parihas. Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they're all in sarcasm. They say that please leave everything and go and see that beautiful form of Vrindavan Shri Krishna. But Aghasur, who was seeing this form, his heart was still not melting. And now these friends decided to enter the mouth of Aghasur. And in fact, before they entered the mouth of Aghasur, they were all amazed. One friend looked at another friend and said that we have come to this part of Giriraj so many times, but we have not seen this cave. This cave is so nice for hide and seek. Look at their sincerity. A demon is there with his mouth wide open, and the friends of Krishna are considering that as a place for hide and seek. So simple and so straightforward. And another friend, he starts saying that, oh, doesn't this look like a muddy road? Looking at the tongue of Aghasur. You see, in village, you don't have concrete roads. The roads are made of mud, and especially when it rains, it becomes red in color. So Vrindavan is village life. Srila Guru Maharaj would always say that for understanding Bhagavatam, those who are from the village, they can understand it better. भागवत को यदि समझना है तो आप अगर गांव वाले हैं तो आप जल्दी समझ पाएंगे, because most of the examples that Shukadev Goswami uses are in connection to village life. So the friends, they look and they say, isn't this like a muddy road? And another friend says, Satyam, Satyam, yes, this is like a muddy road. And another friend, he says, oh, isn't this like a marble building? Looking at the sharp teeth of Aghasur. And another friend says, yes, Satyam, Satyam, this is like a marble building. So innocent. At that time, we find our Acharyas very beautifully, they describe that Aghasur, who had come to Braj, how did he develop these inauspicious bad qualities? It is only by his association. Aghasur associated with Bakasur. He associated with Putana. He associated with Kamsa. And that's where he got all these bad qualities from. Association is very important. On the flip side, we have Prahlad Maharaj. Even though born in a demoniac family, his father is the best among demons. His father's brother is also a demon. Shanda and Amarka are also on the side of Hiranyakashipu. But look at Prahlad Maharaj. When we count the Mahajan, Prahlad Maharaj's number is there in the Mahajans also. We find similarly Mrigari. He's a hunter. He's killing animals. But by the association of Narada Muni, gets completely transformed. Which means the bad samskars can be transformed to good samskars by associating with devotees. The bad some scars that are there in the heart can be transformed to good some scars by associating with devotees. So Aghasur, because he associated only with demons, there was no good qualities in his heart. So now these friends of Sri Krishna, even after looking at a demon, they could not see the bad qualities. They could not see that Aghasur was a demon. Their heart was so soft, like that of a butter, that even looking at Aghasur, they were seeing all good qualities. And this is the quality of a Brajvasi. A Brajvasi is someone, a genuine devotee is someone who doesn't see the bad qualities in anyone. The friends of Krishna, even amidst a demon, were seeing only the good qualities. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the revered spiritual master of our Srila Prabhupada, he had one rule in his mutt. Whenever any disciple would complain about another devotee, when one devotee of the mutt would complain about another devotee, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati would ask that devotee to sit down and glorify that devotee whom he has criticized. He would say, tell me 3 good qualities of that devotee whom you just criticized. And now that is difficult. It's very easy to criticize. When it is criticism just flows like Ganga and Yamuna from our mouth. But if we have to sit down and glorify a devotee, it is very difficult. 3 good qualities, 5 good qualities, it is very difficult. And this is something that we can do in our lives also. The next time when we say something about a devotee and Krishna's Paramatma gives that guilt in our heart, we can immediately pause and think about 3 good qualities that devotee has. This is what Saraswati Thakur would do with his disciples. But this is provided that we don't criticize the devotee again. Just by glorifying the devotee, it doesn't mean that we have the liberty to criticize the devotee again and again. आगे चल के मैं वापस निंदा करूंगा और फिर 3 अच्छे गुण याद करूंगा, फिर वापस निंदा करूंगा, फिर 3 अच्छे गुण याद करूंगा. ना. If we criticize by mistake, we think of 3 good qualities that the devotee has, and making sure, taking an oath that we will not criticize again. This is what Saraswati Thakur would do. And these are the Vrajavasi friends of Krishna. Heart is very soft like a butter. And we find Krishna can steal anything in Vrindavan, but he specifically steals butter. Why? There are so many foodstuffs Krishna can steal. Krishna can steal a mango, Krishna can steal an apple, Krishna can steal rice, but Krishna specifically time and again steals a butter. Why? Because the butter has 2 qualities. It is white in complexion and it is soft in nature, which means that day when our heart becomes white in purity like the butter and soft in compassion like that butter, that is the day Krishna will come and steal our heart away. There is a reason why Krishna steals butter, because butter has these 2 qualities. It is soft and it is white. That day when our heart becomes soft in compassion for other Vaishnavas and white in purity, that is the day Krishna will come and steal butter, the butter-like heart. So these friends of Sri Krishna are so simple and so straightforward that even amidst a demon, they are not able to see the bad qualities. So these are 2 lessons that we have seen till now. First, Aghasur gets the bad qualities by associating. And second, we find that the friends of Krishna are so simple and so straightforward. They're simple and straightforward like the flute of Sri Krishna. You see, the flute of Sri Krishna is very straightforward. It is not just straightforward, but it is non-hypocritic also. What is in is what is out. Air inside, air outside. Krishna holds the flute. Why? Because the flute is straightforward and what is in is what is out. Which means if we desire to get the embrace of Sri Krishna, we should also be like the flute. We have to be straightforward and what is in is what is out, which means being non-hypocritic and the quality of not criticizing Vaishnavas. So Krishna, through this pastime, he teaches that Aghasur developed bad qualities through association. Second, the friends of Sri Krishna are so straightforward and so pious and so pure. Third important quality, third important lesson that we find from this pastime, the friends of Sri Krishna, when they were about to enter the mouth of Aghasur, one of the friend, he stopped and he said, what if this is a demon? What if it's not a cave, and what if it's a demon? And all the friends, they're reassured by saying, oh, even if it's a demon, what's the big deal? Bakari is standing there. Bakari means killer of Bakasur. Krishna was called as Bakari. So even if it's a demon, what is the fear? Why fear when Krishna is here? Bakari is standing here. Why to fear? And they all looked, they all glanced at the face of Sri Krishna before entering the mouth of Aghasur. Srila Guru Maharaj, when he was explaining this pastime, he gave a very important lesson. Maharaj was explaining that we can learn from the friends. Just like the friends, before they entered the mouth of Aghasur, which is very toxic, before they entered their mouth, what did they do? They looked at the form of Sri Krishna. Similarly, Srila Guru Maharaj was explaining, the morning time when we step outside of our house for office or any of those things, it is like entering the mouth of Aghasur, because the outside world is toxic. But what did the friends do? Before entering into the toxic environment, they looked at the form of Sri Krishna. And similarly, Srila Guru Maharaj was saying, before we step outside, any activity, whether it is our office, whether it is our grocery, whether it is anything, the moment we step outside, it's like entering the toxic mouth of Aghasur. Srila Guru Maharaj then explained, he said, we can follow the friends of Krishna by glancing the deities that we have in our house. Just like the friends glanced at Krishna, similarly, we can glance at our personal deities and pray that, my dear Lord, just like your friends entered Aghasur's mouth, but they looked at your beautiful form. Similarly, my dear Lord, I don't know what's going to happen outside. It's like Aghasur's mouth. My boss is like the biggest Aghasur. He's waiting for me in my office. But my dear Lord, I am looking at your form. I am looking at you. My dear Lord, you protect me. If situation goes outside of my hand, you protect me. And that's such an important lesson that we can incorporate. Anytime we are exiting the house, we can look at our deities. Pray to the Lord that, my dear Lord, you please protect me. The eyes, Shukadev Goswami describes, the eyes are meant for this. Vani gunanu kathane shravanau kathayam hastau cha karmasu manas tava pada yorna smritya shiras tava nivas jagat praname drishti satam darshanestu bhavat tanunam. The eyes are meant for seeing the Supreme Lord's form. It's very sad. In one of the classes, His Grace Gauranga Prabhu was mentioning that India at the present moment, it tops the list for the youth under the age of 24. India tops the list in pornographic addiction. It's so sad. India is the land for dharma, but where has all the dharma gone? Dharma is all gone to the side because no one is taking shelter of the Shastra. No one is taking shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. If we take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam from the right source, then we can be like the Brajavasi friends of Shri Krishna. Soft in compassion and white in purity. Straightforward like the flute and non-hypocritic. What is in, what is out. So that is the third point that we find from this Aghasur pastime, that the friends glance at Sri Krishna, and that is something we can also do. And finally, fourth and very important, we find is the friends had so much faith in Krishna. Even if something goes wrong, their friends had so much faith that Krishna will come and protect. Dainya atma nivedana goptritve varan avashya rakshibe Krishna vishwasa palan. Avashya rakshibe Krishna. Krishna will definitely protect me. Devotee means having this strong faith that come what may, Krishna will maintain me and Krishna will protect me. And the friends had this mood. So with this, the friends, they entered. After all the discussion was done, the friends entered the mouth of Aghasur. And Aghasur, like a yogi, was not blinking his eyes, was not closing his mouth. In fact, our Acharya has described, he was not even hissing. We see snakes or python, they always hiss. They cannot stay away from hissing. But Aghasur was so smart. Itna chalak tha Aghasur that he was not even hissing. Like a yogi. You see, yogis, They sit at one place. Aghasur was sitting at one place. The yogi's eyes are always closed and they don't move. Aghasur was like that, not moving, not even hissing. So he was doing an open mouth meditation. He was doing everything that is required in meditation, not moving, mouth open, eyes open, and not even hissing. And now the innocent friends of Sri Krishna, they went inside as if it is some nice playground. And the moment the friends went inside, the toxic mouth of Aghasur was so much. He was breathing poison. The friends fell unconscious. And in fact, by the time Krishna entered the mouth of Aghasur, the friends died because it was so toxic. It was filled with poison that the friends of Sri Krishna died. And now when Krishna entered inside, now Aghasur closed his mouth. Now his meditation was completely done. And now he closed his mouth. Because all this while he was waiting for the big fish, that is Krishna. Krishna is indeed the big fish. Pralayam payo dhijale dhritavana sivedam vihitava hita charitam akedam keshavadrita meena sharira jai jagadisha hare. Krishna is indeed the big fish, Matsyadev. So Aghasur was waiting for the big fish, when the big fish will enter inside. And now that Krishna entered inside to protect his friends, Aghasur closed his mouth. But now Krishna, he starts expanding. Krishna starts showing his Aishwarya. In very, very, very few pastimes in Vrindavan, Krishna displays Aishwarya. When Krishna killed Putana, he used the power of his teeth, his lips. When he killed Shakatasur, it was with his feet. He killed Keshi with his arm. He killed Arishtasur again with his arm. Most of the demons Krishna killed as it is. There was no need for Krishna to expand or show any Aishwarya. It is Aghasur pastime, one of the very rare pastimes where Krishna goes inside and starts expanding. Why? Because all this while, his friends were around. So Krishna cannot show Aishwarya because the friends will understand Krishna is Bhagavan. Or some other pastimes, Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba was around. So again, Krishna could not show Aishwarya. This was one of the very rare pastimes where Mother Yashoda is not there, Nanda Baba is not there, Balaram is not there, and the friends are also unconscious. So Krishna thought that, let me show some godliness to Aghasur. And he started expanding and expanding and expanding. So much so that Aghasur had a lump in his throat. He was getting completely choked. And we find when we're completely choked, naturally we cough. Aghasur started coughing. And the moment he coughed, he opened his mouth. But Krishna was still not ready to leave his mouth. Krishna was choking him so much that Aghasur died. Krishna was literally on his throat and choking him, expanding and expanding and expanding. Krishna killed Aghasur. And now Krishna revived all his friends by just glancing at them. Krishna glanced at all his friends and all his friends came back to life. And now when the friends came back to life, they did not consider Krishna as Bhagavan. They knew Krishna has protected them. But still the love of the Brajavasis are so much that it eclipses Krishna's Aishwarya. It eclipses Krishna's godly abilities. जानते हैं कि भगवान नहीं बचाया है, ये जानते हैं कि कृष्ण नहीं बचाया है, but still so much love, so much mamata that not ready to accept Krishna as God. So Krishna protects all of them. And our Acharya is very beautifully, in fact, Sripad Harisuri here comments to this pastime of Aghasur in a very beautiful way. Srila Guru Maharaj was explaining. Snake is called as Ajgar. We would have heard in Hindi. Snake is called as Ajgar. Why is a snake called as Ajgar? Because Aja in Sanskrit means goat and Gara means throat. Ajgar, Aja means goat and Gara means throat. That animal that can gulp a goat down its throat is called as an Ajgar. Aja means goat and Gara means throat. So that animal, pythons, you see, pythons can swallow a whole goat. They can swallow so many animals. Very powerful. So it's called as an Ajgar. Aja means goat and Gara means throat. Sripad Harisuri comments by saying, Aghasur is the real Ajgar. Why? Because Aja can be split as A and Ja. Ja means Janma. Aja, someone who has no Janma. Krishna has no Janma. Krishna has no birth. And Gara means throat. So in Aghasur's throat, Krishna was there, and Krishna is Aja. Krishna has no Janma. So Sripad Harisuri comments by saying, Aghasur is the real Ajgar, because in his throat, he had Aja Shri Krishna, that Krishna who has no Janma. Aghasur is the real Ajgar. So very beautifully, Krishna uplifts Aghasur and gives him the highest destination. And to wrap up our discussion, we can see that Prabhupada's coming to America can be related with this Aghasur pastime. There are so many similarities that we can find. Prabhupada's coming to America is like the friends entering the mouth of Aghasur. The mouth of Aghasur was toxic. Similarly, New York City was equally very toxic. It is still toxic, in fact. Like Prabhupada would say, when Prabhupada came to Cincinnati, Prabhupada would say, this is not Cincinnati, this is sin ati. Ati means too much. This is that place where sin ati. Lot of sin are committed. Sin ati. Of course, Chirayu Prabhu is here. Prabhuji would have heard this before, but this is very famous. Prabhupada would say sin ati. Similarly, Prabhupada would say for Miami, Prabhupada would say it's not Miami, it's Maya and me. It's a battle between Maya and me, Miami. Now, Prabhupada had his own way of coining things. So, just like the friends of Sri Krishna entered the mouth of Aghasur that is toxic, similarly, Prabhupada entered New York City, which is also toxic. Second, the friends of Sri Krishna had not seen anything before. Like, for example, they had not seen the teeth of Aghasur, which they were mapping to big buildings. The friends had not seen that before. They were thinking it's like marble buildings. Similarly, Prabhupada, who came from Calcutta, had not seen the skyscrapers of New York City. Just like the French had not seen the marble building like teeth, similarly, Prabhupada, who came from Calcutta, had not seen the skyscrapers of New York City before. Third, these friends of Sri Krishna, when they entered inside the mouth of Aghasur, they died. But how did Krishna revive them? Krishna revived them by glance. Similarly, when Prabhupada came to America, the hippies were not materially dead, but they were spiritually dead. They had no spiritual culture. But how did Prabhupada revive them? Prabhupada revived them just like Krishna revived all his friends by glancing on them. Similarly, Prabhupada revived all of them just by glancing on them. Gangar parasha hoile paschate pavana darshane pavitra koro ei tomar gun. Srila Narottam Das Thakur described darshane pavitra koro ei tomar gun. By taking bath in Ganga, one will get purified, no doubt. But that purification takes some time. But darshane pavitra karo ei tumhara gun. He says, oh Vaishnav Thakur, when you glance at someone, that person becomes purified immediately. So just like Krishna glanced at his friends and revived them, similarly Prabhupada glanced at all the hippies and revived their spiritual culture back. He made the hippies into happies. And finally, we find these friends of Sri Krishna who saw the muddy road, who saw the marble building like teeth, they had not seen this before. But Sri Krishna fulfilled the desire of all his friends. After this pastime was done, there was actually a muddy road that was created in that same place. Because the friends desired, Krishna fulfilled their desire. Similarly, Prabhupada came to New York City. When Prabhupada came to New York City, it was like toxic Aghasur's mouth. But after Prabhupada's presence, Prabhupada once he mentioned that when I came to US, it was very toxic. But my disciples are so glorious that they made the toxic New York City into Vaikunta. Whatever Prabhupada desired before coming to New York City, that was fulfilled. Just like whatever the friends desired were completely fulfilled. So we see many similarities Just like Prabhupada coming to US, it's like the friends entering the mouth of Aghasur. The friends were revived with the glance of Sri Krishna. Similarly, Prabhupada revived the spiritual culture of all the hippies. So in this way, we find Srila Prabhupada is so kind to have entered the Aghasur-like mouth of the material world in order to rescue all of us. And finally, dear devotees, to wrap up this discussion, we started this discussion by quoting a verse that Srila Guru Maharaj often quotes. We will end the class with a nice sweet pastime of Srila Guru Maharaj in connection to this Aghasur pastime. We know, as in 2009, 2010, when Srila Guru Maharaj got the stroke, Guru Maharaj was taken to the hospital and he was taken to the MRI. And as we know, MRI, it's very cold and it's put inside. So Gopal Krishna Maharaj and Lokanath Swami Maharaj, they came to meet Srila Guru Maharaj. And after many hours of the MRI was done, Srila Guru Maharaj was brought out. So then both the Maharajas, Gopal Krishna Maharaj and Lokanath Maharaj, they asked Srila Guru Maharaj that, they asked in Hindi, of course. They said, Maharaj, aapko kaisa laga? They asked, which means, Maharaj, how did you feel? And Srila Guru Maharaj, just look at the absorption. Someone has gone through a stroke and look at the absorption. When this question was asked to him, Maharaj, aapko kaisa laga? Maharaj replied by saying, मुझे ऐसा लगा कि मैं अघासुर के मुख के अंदर चला गया और भगवान मुझे आकर बाहर खींच निकाले. Look at the absorption, dear devotees, because the MRI is like this for those who have seen. So you are generally put inside the MRI. So it's like entering the mouth of Aghasur. So that 1 hour, 1.5 hours of MRI, Guru Maharaj felt as if he had entered the mouth of Aghasur and Sri Krishna had rescued him, just like the friends were rescued. मुझे ऐसे लगा कि मैं अघासुर के मुख के अंदर चला गया और भगवान मुझे आकर खींच निकाले. When I heard it, I was stunned. I was thinking to myself, how can anyone think like this? Little pepper cut in our hand and we cannot think of Krishna. Even when we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the morning, that time also our mind is wavering here and there. Even while chanting Krishna's name, we cannot think of Krishna. And here is a person who has had a stroke, who's put into MRI, and that time also he is remembering Krishna. What level of absorption? Unbelievable. These are the Brajavasis, the supreme associates of Sri Krishna. Whatever circumstance they are put in, they will never forget their Lord. So the associates of Sri Krishna, the associates of Prabhupada are teaching all of us that when situations go up and down in our life, that is not the point where we forget Krishna. In fact, that is the time we remember Krishna more, because we need Krishna's protection more than ever. So in this way, we find this Aghasur pastime is very sweet from the 10th canto, chapter 12 of the Krishna book, and of course from the Srimad Bhagavatam. There are so many more things that we can discuss, but we will end our class here. Aghasur Vad ki jai, Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai, Patita Pavan Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samasta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
His Grace Arjun Sakha Prabhu ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhuji, very nice, wonderful lecturian class. And I remember that lesson that you have given us. We've also been instructed by Maharaj that whenever you go out of the house, you have to see the deity. So it was very significant, Prabhuji. So Prabhuji, if you have a time, we'll take questions from the devotees.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So Rohini and Prabhuji.
Sure. Thank you, Arjun. Yeah, thank you, Arjun Sakha Prabhu, for the wonderful class. I must admit, like when you mentioned this topic of open mouth meditation, I had no idea that it was going to be Aghasur Vad Katha. So really wonderful. And your comparison with Srila Prabhupada coming to USA, it was really, really very nice. I had never heard about that before. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. So devotees, if you have any questions, please raise your hand and I can unmute you. Or if you prefer, you can also ask the question in the chat. Yes, Pradyumna Prabhu, I can. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Arjun, Sakha, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Very nice class. Really, we enjoy. You talking the pastime of Aghasur and all nice different verses you said. Very nice, Prabhuji. Really, we enjoy the class. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And Prabhuji, you sing that first the slok, that Maharaj used to sing all the time. And that's really remind me that whenever Maharaj Katha starts, yes, it's very
Yes,
yes,
definitely.
it's
That is Srila Guru Maharaj, I think, favorite verse. He quotes that always in Mangalacharan. All classes,
yes,
Haridwar
yes,
Katha,
right.
all kathas, Srila Guru Maharaj always
Yes.
quotes.
Yes,
Right.
thank you so much. It's remind me that. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to see both of you all. So attentive and so kind. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji, for,
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Please
for
bless
blessing me.
us. You
And
bless us too, Prabhuji.
I am very small in age and in bhakti. I am very, very, very small. Both of you all are superior to me in age and also bhakti. Please pray for me so that I can serve the mission of Prabhupada and I can serve something that gives happiness to Srila Guru Maharaj also.
Very nice.
You both brother doing so good. Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Yes, so someone is asking in the chat window, is the link of the recording available on YouTube? Yes, yes, Maharaji. Yes, Prabhuji, the link, it will be available on YouTube as well. Yeah, Chirai Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Jai Jai Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Jai.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat. Thank you, Prabhu, for coming and to the Parsati Foundation. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, you just said a few minutes ago, like you are so little, but no, Prabhu, I don't agree that you might be little, but when it comes to bhakti and gyan, you're very masterminded, Prabhu. I don't know how you do it all, Prabhu, but thank you so much for sharing. Especially when you came to Cincinnati several months back. At that time, you did some katha in Columbus and everything. That time also, you really, boosted us, Prabhu. And again, today you boosted us too much. One really good thing, there's several points, but you covered it. But about the Cincinnati, several years ago, Prabhu, when we were in Baltimore, and Bhakti Rasamrut Maharaj also came. So Nand Kumar Prabhu invited, say, please come to Cincinnati, So we were there for 2 days and we were pressuring Prabhu, like, please come, to Cincinnati. And then Bhakti Rasamrut Maharaj said, I'm not coming to Cincinnati. So we asked, why? What happened, Prabhu Maharaj? So he said, sin. There's 2 sins in Cincinnati, so I'm not coming there.
Naam mein itna sin hai.
What sin? But thank you, Prabhu, again. Very nice nectarian class. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Please keep on coming up, Prabhu.
The name may have sin ati, but the devotees there are so sweet and so kind and so spiritually charged up that yes, as Prabhuji mentioned, I definitely had a very nice experience. Personally, for me also, it was very spiritually nourishing and yes, devotees there are very nice and very spiritually fired up. And Prabhuji is definitely leading all the devotees there. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for coming.
No, Prabhu, please lead us, or please bless us, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Neelam Mataji, please go ahead.
Please forgive my ignorance. Who is your Guru Maharaj?
Shri Srimad Srila Radha Govinda Das Goswami Maharaj.
Thank you. Thank you. You did a wonderful job. It is full of enthusiasm and lovely chanting of the mantras. I wish one day I could be a part of your beautiful presentation. Thank you. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you so much for your very kind and encouraging words, and kindly pray for me so that I can serve like this as much as possible. Hare Krishna.
Yes, all my best wishes are on you, Prabhuji. Wonderful job.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So I don't see any other hands raised. So maybe we can end here. So yeah, Harila Prabhu, should we end here?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. So yeah, thank you so much, Arjun Sakha Prabhu, for your valuable time. It's always so wonderful to hear, the Nectarian Katha from you. So yeah, please keep coming and please continue to give your association. So everyone, we can pay our gratitude to Arjun Sakha Prabhu by reciting the Vaishnava Pranam mantra. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Jai.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Arjun Sakha Prabhuji. Please come back again. Hari
Hare
Bol.
Krishna. Thank you so much, Hari Lila Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hari Prabhu. Hari Bol.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Thank you to all devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you,
Hare
Hari Lila Prabhu. Thank you, Pratibha Prabhu. Everybody, thank you so much.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.